And you can watch the video streaming of this radio broadcast at LetsGoICC.com. Montana Hawkins and the First American National Bank first pitch is outside. 1-0 the count here in the top of the first to Chelsea Bunton.
Well, the Trustmark Bank scoreboard update, the Tampa Bay Rays leading the Blue Jays on opening day 6-0. 3 of those runs scored by former ICC Indian Desmond Jennings.
How about that? Our first Trustmark Bank scoreboard update. Yes, Desmond, a former two-sport star here at ICC. Chelsea Bunton, she was the pitcher in game 1, and she sends this fly ball to deep left field. It's going to be all the way. It's going to roll to the wall. It's going to be a stand-up double by Bunton. She went the other way with that pitch from Montana Hawkins.
Yeah, the outfield was in that time, so he quickly got over the head of Rachel Elder out there and left. So a leadoff double there for the Lady Tigers.
So they started off the top of the 7th in game 1 with a leadoff double by Chagoy, and she came around to score the only run of the game. Showing Bunton, and it's a beauty by G. The throw to third is in time. How about that play by Watterson? Now they're going to try to, the runner's going to try to go from first to second. And was that Watterson that made the tag?
Well, no, this is how it went. Watterson fielded the ball, threw to shortstop for the first out, and then the shortstop, Haley Moore, beat the runner to second and tagged her out. So a 5-6 unassisted double play.
How about that? That's by far a web gem. Brought to you by the National Guard. Maybe that will be something that maybe will turn.
Ignite that fire.
That's what we need. We need a little Captain Mo. We haven't had any momentum the whole afternoon. First pitch is low and inside to Trinisha King. So that changes this first inning completely. That whole complexion changes by that defensive web gem. There's a fly ball to deep left field, but it's going to be playable and caught by the left fielder, Rachel Elder, and that takes care of Northeast in the first. No runs, a hit, no errors, and no one was left. Throw a donut up on that scoreboard for Northeast, brought to you by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop in downtown Fulton. We go to the bottom of the first, no score between ICC and Northeast.
If you're looking for a friendly pharmacy with the fastest service in this area, head to the Family Pharmacy of Fulton. Located next to Food Giant, the Family Pharmacy of Fulton never wants a customer to wait any longer than necessary. We know you're busy, so we give your prescription top priority. The Family Pharmacy of Fulton combines modern convenience with caring customer service. Just a few of the reasons why the Family Pharmacy of Fulton has become your pharmacy of choice. Give us a call at 862-7979 or swing by the Family Pharmacy of Fulton.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Trustmark Bank in Tupelo, Fulton, and Columbus. Trustmark is a Mississippi-based bank. Yes, it's a large regional bank, but managed locally by the Baptist Student Union on the Fulton campus. The BSU is the oldest, largest, and most active religious club on campus, serving ICC students since 1954.
FM 95 sports coverage of ICC is sponsored by the McDonald's of Monroe, Itawamba, Chickasaw, Lee, and Pontotoc counties, Davis Ford, Coke, First American National Bank, Itawamba Community College, and Auto, Air, and Electric.
Alongside Adam Gore, I'm Will Kohlmeyer as we head to the bottom of the first. No score between ICC and Northeast. We got a Trustmark Bank scoreboard update, Adam Gore.
Absolutely. A couple of baseball scores since we got some people from the Northeast area watching. You've got Northeast winning Game 1 6-3 over Coahoma. And an interesting score here. Holmes takes Game 1 6-5 over Mississippi Delta. Loses Game 2 14-1 in 5 innings to Mississippi Delta. And then a game we're keeping an eye on right now, 3-3 in the 7th between East Mississippi and Northwest, Game 1 in softball.
How about that? Nice job, Adam, with that Trustmark Bank scoreboard update. And Adam talked about baseball. We'll have both games of the baseball doubleheader tomorrow between Northwest and ICC. Here is ICC softball, and Heather Dillard with a nice bunt on the first pitch, and just getting her at first for the first out. Boy, I tell you what, Diller can fly, can't she?
Yeah, she's got a lot of speed, and that's the thing. If you hesitate, if you don't make a good throw, she's on.
But a nice play by the first baseman. That's Bunton. She threw a strike to the second baseman, Cooper, covering for the first out. Here's Haley Moore, the shortstop. And the first pitch is a strike call. Haley in game 1 went 0 for 3. There were a lot of 0-fers in that first game. We only had 2 hits, one by Watterson with 1 out in the 4th, and then we had a base hit with 2 outs in the 2nd by Hopper. Only 2 hits. This one's fly ball down the left field line. It's hooking foul. And it's 1-1.
I believe so. We'll see what Solo has to say. Or I should say the umpire. Shouldn't call him by name since we got people watching.
That's okay. There, that pitch is high.
I believe it's 1-2.
1-2 the count.
1-2 the count.
No, sir. No? You have no strikes. How many strikes you need? 2.
So that pitch just
low
misses.
And outside. Eves up the count now at 2-2.
2-2 the count to Haley Moore with Watterson on deck. No score, bottom of the first inning between ICC and Northeast. This one is foul again down the left field line, and we'll do it again.
So a good at bat right now by Haley, and that's what we need, Will. We got that big play, double play by her in the top half of the inning here. Just needs something, just a good hard hit, anything right now to sort of just give a little extra life in the life of the Indians.
We got to get to our Rick's Picks to Click, brought to you by Rick's Barbecue here in Fulton. Here's the pitch to Moore, a 2-hopper to short, fire over to first in time to get Haley Moore. That's now 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Rick Leathers, who runs the show down there with his wife Joni and son Brandon Leathers there at Rick's Barbecue, and he always goes with the Itawamba County angle, and so that was Haley Moore who just had that at bat there, was his Rick's Pick to Click. Moore from Itawamba HS. Pitch is high. First pitch to Watterson, 1-0 the count. Adam, who's going to be your Rick's Pick to Click in game 2 for Itawamba?
We'll go with Kara Hopper.
Okay, Hopper, one of the 2 hits in game 1. Kara Hopper is Adam's Rick's Pick to Click. That pitch is a strike called.
Ooh, Watterson didn't like that as she kind of stepped back and then shot a look back to the umpire.
Well, hanging out with you the last 4 years, Adam, if we lose the first game, you can't come back with whoever you picked in game 1. I had Corey Watterson in game 1. I'm going to go with Montana Hawkins on the hill in between the circle there for ICC. Montana Hawkins, the sophomore from Sullivan, is my Rick's Pick to Click. There's a swing and a miss. So it's 2-2 the count with 2 outs here and a scoreless bottom of the first. I think Montana's got a good game in her.
Yeah, she come back and had 10 strikeouts against Coahoma the other day, and she needed that. She been struggling from time to time this season, but needed a good game to come out and get some confidence.
That pitch is a foul ball.
You got to put her on now.
To even off things in the first game. Yeah, I was going to
say, you do it from Northeast in the first game.
Hit the bat. They were able to get a hit by pitch in the first game. But Watterson back in to the batter's box with 2 outs and a scoreless bottom of the first. And there's strike 3 called. That strikeout brought to you by the Pit Stop Barbecue here in Fulton. Open every day, breakfast and lunch here right across from our Student Services building on the ICC Fulton campus. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first. We go to the second. No score between Itawamba and Northeast.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First American National Bank in Fulton, doing business the old-fashioned way. First American National Bank with convenient locations all over Northeast Mississippi. By the Subways in Fulton, Tupelo, Saltillo, and Nettleton. Subway, eat fresh.
ICC Athletics on FM 95 Sports is brought to you in part by the National Guard. Always ready, always there, the National Guard. And by Pisons. Give Stan the Pizza Man a call at 862-4000.
We head to the top of the second. No score between ICC and Northeast. It'll be the number 4, 5, and 6 hitters facing Montana Hawkins. It's Chagoya, Agnew, and Cooper for Northeast. We talked about having the cow from Chick-fil-A, the Thompson Square location in Tupelo here in game 1. There's a strike called 0-1. We'll give you a chance to win one of their new grilled chicken sandwiches. We'll give you a trivia question coming up. Chagoya, the pitcher in game 2, scored the only run in game 1 at the plate. She was 1 for 2 officially, had that double to lead off that 7th inning.
Yeah, 7 innings that we recorded 4 outs in.
That is the inning, that's right, that we recorded 4 outs. That is correct.
Second time this season that's happened to the Lady Indians. Led to a loss in game 1 against Northwest as well.
That pitch is a little outside. Now, we talked about it throughout the course of game 1, if you were listening, or you might have seen it on the local news or in the newspaper. The Lady Indians are ranked nationally. The answer for our Chick-fil-A trivia question, there's a pitch is low. Where are the ICC Lady Indians currently ranked among the nation's top 20? Call my office at 862-8274. That's 862-8274. Gets one of the new grilled chicken sandwiches at Chick-fil-A at the Thompson Square location in Tupelo. That pitch is a strike call to Chagoya.
Yeah, Chagoya had already started to toss the bat back, and a little delay in the call.
Agnew is on deck. Cooper in the hole, facing the right-hander, Montana Hawkins. This one's a smash down the third base line, a base hit. Taking the turn at first, the throw to second is not in time. And for the second straight inning in game 2, and if you go back to game 1, the third straight inning, that the Lady Tigers have a leadoff double.
And that's always tough to handle. You know, we got a break and got out of that with no damage done the first inning. But whenever you get the lead runner on, and then especially when you get them in scoring position, it's really hard to battle back from that.
So here is Bray Agnew. Bray in game 1 went 0 for 3. Grounded into a double play. Nice job by Moore for ICC. That first pitch is a strike call, then popped up to the shortstop Moore, and then grounded a bunt attempt right to our third baseman there at that time in the top of the 7th was Henry. So she was 0 for 3. There's a grounder to short. Moore checks the runner back and fires over to first in time. Henderson snap throw down to second, and Chagoya is back safely. So there's the first out of the top of the 2nd for ICC.
Yeah, good job that time by Haley Moore. Sort of even gave a little pump fake. She saw the runner didn't have the speed that she thought she would have, and made her take an extra step back and kept her on second. So a big out there and keeping the runner at bay.
So nice play by ICC. That's the first out of the 2nd inning for Northeast. The runner had to stay at second. And here's the right-handed hitting second baseman, Jasmine Cooper. Yasmin sends one back up the middle. It hits the bag at second. They're going to try to score. The runner, here comes the throw, and it's going to be in time. And the runner is out at the plate. So a base hit by Cooper. And how about that throw from the center fielder Dillard to the catcher Bonner?
Yeah, there was a no doubter on that one too, as she just loaded up and just gunned her down dead to rights. Big play there for the Lady Indians.
That's a defensive web gem brought to you by the National Guard. Always ready, always there, the National Guard. So now there's 2 outs on the throw to the plate. Cooper did take second. So there's 2 outs, still scoreless between ICC and Northeast. And here's the right-handed hitting third baseman, Avery Springer. She played first in game 1. First pitch is high, 1-0 the count.
Yeah, Mohawk felt it on that one. Had a little extra behind on that fastball and sort of raised up on her.
Springer had the only RBI in game 1. Pitch in the dirt. Nice job by Bonner. Springer had that 2-out, 2-strike base hit to right to score Chagoya with the only run of game 1. Northeast won it 1-0. They had 2 of their 3 hits against Hannah Johnson there in that top of the 7th. There's a foul ball. 2-1 the count. The runner at second is Cooper in the top of the second. No score between ICC and Northeast. Lady Indians in first, even with that loss. There's a strike call.
Count now goes 2-2.
With 2 outs here in the second. So all kinds of deuces on that scoreboard. There's a line drive, base hit up the middle. Let's see if they're going to challenge. Nope, they won't challenge Dillard this time. The throw to the plate. They kept the runner. They held her at third. So a base hit by Springer. She has 2 hits in the last 2 at-bats. And so Springer at first. Cooper is at third. That's the 3rd hit of the inning for Northeast. Fortunately, still no runs scored. And now we need to get out of the inning by getting Shannon Good, the shortstop.
Runners on the corners right here for Northeast. So you see Bonner coming up, giving the defensive signals on how they want to play this.
There's 2 outs thanks to that big-time play by Dillard, charging that base hit by Cooper just moments ago and throwing out the runner Chagoya trying to score from second. This one's popped up. The catcher, almost Bonner dived. Great effort, but it went in and out of the webbing. And it's a strike.
Yeah, they're going to have to give Bonner a second to catch that because she pretty much belly flopped in the gravel over there and knocked the wind out of her. Montana Hawkins, the pitcher, coming over to help up her catcher after a great effort. Unfortunately, couldn't get it in the out. And business out to pick up in the outfield. Look who's leading the way over here after practice is over in left field.
Oh, my goodness.
John Williams and the Indians.
Here come the Indians after spring practice for the head coach. The swing and a miss. The throw down to third is in time. They sent the runner, Springer, but Cooper went a little too far off the third, and Bonner threw a strike to the third baseman Watterson to tag Cooper, and that takes care of Northeast in the second. No runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 was left. Throw another scoreboard, donut on that scoreboard for Northeast, brought to you by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop in downtown Fulton. We go to the bottom of the second. No score between ICC and Northeast here on FM 95 Sports.
Hi folks, Barrett Clark with Larry Clark Chevrolet in Amory. It's Truck Month at Mr. Truck. Buy a new 2014 Chevrolet Silverado or GMC Sierra for supplier pricing. That includes 2 years of certified maintenance and warranty for life. That's right, a powertrain warranty for as long as you own it. Do your shopping online with MrTruck.com. From my family to yours, and from all of us at Larry Clark Chevrolet, thank you for your support. All rebates assigned dealers. See dealer for details. Lifetime warranty for vehicles 5 years or newer, less than 80,000 miles. Cadillacs excluded. It's easy in Amory.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Davis Ford in Fulton. Need a new car, van, or SUV? Give Davis Ford a call at 862-3711. By Coca-Cola, Coke, and ICC. Now that's the winning combination.
And by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop in downtown Fulton. Sweet Cheeks is open daily for breakfast and lunch and is the only place in Fulton where you can get hot, freshly made donuts.
FM 95 sports coverage of ICC is sponsored by the McDonald's of Monroe, Itawamba, Chickasaw, Lee, and Pontotoc counties, the Baptist Student Union, Family Pharmacy of Fulton, Subway, JUCOweekly.org, and First National Bank in Pontotoc.
Will Kohlmeyer, Adam Gore back here in Fulton. We go to the bottom of the second. No score between ICC and Northeast. It'll be the number 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Itawamba. That's Carver, Henderson, and Langford facing Chagoya out of Riverside, California. The first pitch is a little bit high, outside 1-0 the count.
Will be a nice time right now for Carver to sort of send the football players scattering as they're literally hanging on the fence.
Out in left center field. There's a strike called. 1-1 the count. Andy Kirk switched that lineup around in game 2 after the Indians only had 2 hits and no runs in game 1. Only one time in game 1 that we had a runner in scoring position. There's a foul down the third base line. That was Watterson. She got a 1-out base hit in the 4th and she stole second. And that was it. It's now been 8 innings of shutout softball, I should say, for Northeast so far today. What better time than the present to stop that? Here's Carver at the plate, low and outside.
We're doing a much better job now. We're not chasing pitches, not reaching for pitches. So, being a little bit more patient at the plate.
Yeah, I think it's a more disciplined approach in game 2. You got to figure Andy Kirk and his staff dwelled on that. And there's a sharp smash down out there in the left field, and a leadoff base hit for Kat Carver. Kat Carver with her first hit of the afternoon. She was 0 for 3 in game 1, and that's the first time all day that we've had the leadoff hitter on.
Absolutely, and another thing, Will, is the first time we've actually, other than a fly out earlier, but it's the first time we hit the ball hard. Mm-hmm. Hit it hard and on the ground. It didn't hit nothing directly at them.
Here's Emily Henderson. There's a swing and a miss. They send the runner down to second and slide it in safely. A stolen base for Carver.
Yeah, it was a good throw, but Carver did a good job of sliding in hard and breaking up that throw as the shortstop covering that time dropped the ball.
And that for Kat Carver, her 8th steal of the year in 8 attempts. So now we have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. So here in a scoreless bottom of the second.
0-1 count.
The 0-1 to Henderson from Chagoya. High, 2-0 the count. Henderson in game 1 had a pinch hitting appearance, and she bounced to the second baseman for the final out there in the bottom of the 7th. So Henderson 0 for 1 in game 1. Started the day with a .257 batting average, 2 home runs, 14 runs batted in. There's a strike called with a runner at second and nobody out here in the bottom of the second. I'm ready to call a run scored for ICC. What do you think, Adam?
Absolutely, and right now would be a great time for Henderson to sort of break out the slump she's been in here of late and push one across.
And there's a one-hopper back to the mound, the throw to third, and Carver's caught in between first and second. They're going to try to get her in a pickle so Henderson can go to second, but Henderson stays at first. And a base-running Fupa there for ICC, and Andy Kirk wanted Henderson to take off and go to second. But it was a nice job by Carver. She was in a pickle, but she kept it long enough where Henderson possibly could have gone to second, and Andy Kirk really wanted her to get the second. So a fielder's choice by Henderson. Carver is out at third.
A 1-5-6-1 put out.
All right. 1-5-6-1 put out. Okay. For the folks scoring at home. And with one out, the pitch is low to Langford. Ashley, the designated player in both games. She was 0 for 3 in game 1. She was in the cleanup spot for head coach Andy Kirk and the Lady Indians. Speaking of Andy, pitch is low and outside. Adam Kirk, his brother, came up and spoke to us in between games. The assistant basketball coach of the state champion ICC men's basketball program. Cheering on his brother and the Lady Indians here today. Got a lot of different coaches and different players from the different sports cheering on Itawamba today. Great crowd out here at the ballpark. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss, and Henderson will steal second. And Henderson is now in scoring position with only one out. That for Emily is her third stolen base in 5 attempts this year. So let's see with Langford. We need a big hit with someone in scoring position. We have not been able to get any hits here this afternoon with a runner in scoring position. That pitch at the low and outside. 3-1 the count to the right-handed hitting Ashley Langford. In case you're just joining us, Adam talked about Ashley in game 1. She's the transfer from Mississippi Delta Community College. There's a swing and a miss. The count is full at 3-2. No score, one out, bottom of the second. The runner at second is Henderson. Langford at the dish, and Hopper on deck. Ground ball, foul.
Good job staying alive at bat right now. Count goes full 3-2 here on Langford.
Langford started the day with a .303 batting average, 6 home runs, 33 runs batted in. Langford went 0 for 3, though, in Game 1, including a strikeout, a flyout to deep left field. Her first at-bat, she sent the left fielder to the wall. That is ball 4, low and outside. And that's the first walk of the afternoon, given up by Northeast pitching.
Yeah, now let's see if we just can't get something going here. As we said, we didn't get a lot of runners on base in that first game, so now we got a runner in scoring position, a runner on first with 1 out here. So let's see if we just can't spark a little rally.
And here's Kara Hopper. There's a swing and a miss, strike 1. Hopper, the right fielder in both games. She was 1 for 2 in Game 1. She had one of the 2 hits given up by Bunton. Swing and a miss. Good location on both those pitches.
Yeah, both of them have been pretty low, and Hopper having a hard time hanging off those low fastballs.
0-2 the count with 1 out and a scoreless bottom of the second. After Northeast won Game 1, 1-0. That pitch is high. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, good job by the catcher that time, popping up and holding on to that one, or we could have had runners in second and third with 1 out.
ICC started the day with a 2-game lead. That has shrunk to 1 game now. There's a slow roller. The shortstop will try to flip to third in time. What a play by Good to get Henderson at third. So Hopper reaches on the fielder's choice. Langford goes to second. And Henderson is retired at third, 6-5 if you're keeping score. That's Good to the third baseman Springer.
You know, and that's one thing that we didn't touch on in the first game, and we can talk about now, is there's been some tough plays for Northeast that they've made. They didn't make any errors in that first game, so we haven't been able to take advantage of anything, and that right there is another tough play and a proof of the type of defense they've been playing.
Well, that's right. We haven't had any gifts to take advantage of. Bonner at the plate, the catcher. Autumn in Game 1, 0 for 2, a fly out to center and a ground out to third. There's 2 outs, still with runners at first and second for ICC, and a scoreless bottom of the second. This one's popped up, get out of play, and it will drift out of play. Hits the top of the dugout here at the beautiful ICC softball complex down that third base side of things. That's the Northeast dugout. Now tomorrow at Roy Crescent Field, that'll be the ICC dugout. ICC trying to score its first run of the afternoon. Our first radio broadcast of the year for ICC softball. Adam, you've had a handful of games that have been video streamed at LetsGoICC.com. And there is a pitch, just misses. 1-2 the count.
Actually, they call that one a strike.
Oh, they called it a strike, okay.
1-2 is the count, though.
1-2 the count to Bonner with Rachel Elder on deck. Bonner catching both games of the doubleheader for Itawamba. Pitch is low, and the count is even at 2-2.
Yeah, Bonner thought about it, then back out on it, and that time, and really didn't know what to think about that pitch. So it must have had some funny little tail on it that she didn't know what to do with.
2-2 the count with 2 outs here in the second inning. ICC has runners at first and second, and that's strike 3 called. And another strikeout. That's the second of the afternoon for Chagoya, brought to you by Pit Stop Barbecue in Fulton. In the inning, no runs, a hit, no errors, and we left 2 on. We've played 2, still no score between ICC and Northeast here on FM 95 Sports.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First National Bank in Pontotoc, with locations on South Main Street in Pontotoc and on Highway 15 in North Pontotoc. First National Bank, you're important to us, and we prove it.
And by JUCO Weekly. Log on to JUCOweekly.org to view scores, stats, news, photos, and videos from around the MACJC. Follow us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at www.JUCOweekly.org.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Trustmark Bank in Tupelo, Fulton, and Columbus. Trustmark is a Mississippi-based bank. Yes, it's a large regional bank, but managed locally by the Baptist Student Union on the Fulton campus. The BSU is the oldest, largest, and most active religious club on campus, serving ICC students since 1954.
Back here in Fulton as we head to the third inning, still no score between ICC and Northeast after the Lady Tigers took game 1-2. Absolutely gorgeous afternoon for softball. Adam, you've been to quite a few of the softball doubleheaders, maybe one of the best days of the year.
Yes, absolutely. Easily one of the best days we've had this season.
And the first pitch here in the top of the third from Montana Hawkins to Shannon Good is a ball, 1-0 the count. Good, in case you just joined us, she's the slap hitter, hits from the left side for Northeast, and that infield for ICC, you'll see it if you're watching at LetsGoICC.com. The infield is in.
Will, the Trustmark Bank scoreboard update. They're heading to the ninth inning, tied 4-4 between East Mississippi and Northwest.
Now, those are the two teams that started the day tied for second, 2 games behind ICC, with Lady Indians losing game 1. The winner of that game will creep to within a game of first place Itawamba. 3-0 the count to Good. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, and there's 4 pitches, 4 balls. Nope, they're going to call that one a strike. 3-1 the count, as Good had already tossed the bat.
Yeah, he's got a delay. He's got a delay call on his strike. So we've seen that a couple of times today.
Yes. Even more of a delay. That really, the home plate umpire in game 1 had a delay too. This one's fouled straight back. 3-2 the count, but this gentleman has it even more of a delay, which kind of throws us a curve, doesn't it?
Well,
trying to call the game.
He likes to let people know he's here, and that's just his style.
I gotcha.
So,
well, you're right. That puts all the attention on him as we wait for the call. Here's the 3-2 from Montana Hawkins to Shannon Good, leading off the top of the third. No score. This one's popped up on the infield left side. Calling for it is Watterson, just a foot into foul territory for the first out here in the top of the third.
Yeah, good job by Hawkins to battle back and get that out right there after quickly falling behind in the count 3-0.
And here's the catcher, Haley Christian. Christian in game 1 went 0 for 3. Bounced into a couple fielders' choices and had a ground ball right back to Hannah Johnson, the pitcher for ICC. This one flies right over us in the ICC Alumni Association broadcast booth.
Actually hit a tree, so she couldn't do that again if she tried.
And here is Haley Christian at the plate, the catcher. And it's now 1-1 the counts. ICC zeroing in on a couple wins on the tennis court behind the ICC softball complex against East Central. There's a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count to Haley Christian with the leadoff hitter Chelsea Bunton on deck. We're in a scoreless top of the third between 19th ranked ICC and Northeast. That pitch is high. 2-2 the count. The 3-time defending state champs from ICC on the women's side was winning handily against East Central. There's a fly ball to left field. Going back a step, going in a step, and making the catch is Rachel Elder for the second out here in a scoreless top of the third as Haley Christian is retired. And we'll go to the top of the order and Chelsea Bunton. Bunton led off the game with a double. She was the winning pitcher in game 1 through a 2-hit shutout. There's a foul. 0-1 the count. Whitney G is on deck. We would love to see Whitney lead off the fourth. We're in the top of the third, no score between ICC and Northeast. A tremendous crowd. And there's a strike call. 0-2 the count. Bunton was the leadoff hitter in game 1 as well. She went 0 for 3. had a strikeout and then grounded back to Johnson twice. There's a slow roller. Watterson at third, fires it low to Henderson, and the runner is safe. Single.
E5.
Okay. E5 on that one. Blake Long was lobbying for the single for Bunton, trying to help out the average.
That's error all day.
So Bunton reaches on the air with 2 outs. Here's G, the left fielder. She bounced into a fielder's choice her first time up. Pitch is low and outside. No score here in the top of the third between ICC and Northeast. It's softball this afternoon. ICC and Northeast on FM 95. This one's fouled out of play. 1-1 the count. Tomorrow afternoon, Adam and I will join you from Roy Cressa Field. A double dip between ICC and Northwest in baseball. 2:40 airtime with the Davis Ford pregame show, and that First American National Bank first pitch at 3 o'clock.
And that's 2 big games for the Indians.
Really is. After the sweep, they got swept yesterday. Could have won either game at 5th-ranked East Mississippi, but came away with 2 losses. It's either feast or famine for the Indians in division play. That pitch in the dirt, and that'll allow the runner to go to second. Wild pitch puts Bunton in scoring position with 2 outs here in a scoreless top of the third. We've either swept the opponent or we've been swept in division play. And yes, 2 big games. ICC 4-6 in North Division play. Northwest at 5-5. Big doubleheader for both teams, trying to nail down one of those top 4 spots. That pitch is high and outside. 3-1 the count to G with Tranisha King on deck.
Yeah, nail down one of those top 4 spots and try to stay out of that number 4 spot.
Whew. Then you got to go to Jones. Number 1 ranked Jones. That pitch is low and inside. And that's ball 4 to Whitney G. So runners at first and second with 2 outs here in a scoreless top of the third. And here's Tranisha King, the designated player in game 2, which she held that spot in game 1, where she went 1 for 3. Had a base hit sandwiched between a couple strikeouts. Looking to Hannah Johnson. Both those strikeouts, like all of them this year, brought to you by the Pit Stop Barbecue here in Fulton. Second straight year that Doug Leslie has sponsored our strikeouts of ICC softball and baseball. That pitch in the dirt allows the runners to go to second and third.
Yeah, it's tough right there. So now Bonner's got to be a wall behind that plate. The second one's got away from her. Runners have been able to advance on it. So now Mo's got to give her something she can block easy if it is in the dirt.
Northeast had their first 2 batters retired here in the top of the third. Pitch, strike called. Good location for Hawkins on that one.
1-1 count right now on the Northeast batter.
No score, and King sends a fly ball into right field. Coming on and making the catch is Hopper, and that takes care of Northeast in the third. No runs, no hits. There was an error, and 2 were left. We go to the bottom of the third. No score between ICC and Northeast.
Auto Air Electric is Tupelo's only auto electrical and air conditioning service center. We offer many services to keep your auto running efficiently. Computer programming, full automotive electric repair, tune-ups, heating and AC systems, power windows and seats, cruise control, door locks, and more. Right now, we're offering GM cluster repair. We've been in business since 1990, and with our excellent staff, have over 50 years of combined automotive experience. So when you need service, give us a call at Auto Air Electric, 3042 Maddox Street behind Car Credit in Tupelo.
ICC Athletics on FM 95 Sports is brought to you in part by the National Guard. Always ready, always there, the National Guard. And by Pisons. Give Stan the Pizza Man a call at 862-4000.
FM 95 sports coverage of ICC is sponsored by the McDonald's of Monroe, Itawamba, Chickasaw, Lee, and Pontotoc counties, the Baptist Student Union, Family Pharmacy of Fulton, Subway, JUCOweekly.org, and First National Bank in Pontotoc.
Will Kohlmeyer, Adam Gore back here in Fulton. We go to the bottom of the third. No score between ICC and Northeast. It'll be the number 9, 1, and 2 hitters. That's Elder, Dillard, and Moore facing the right-hander Bianca Chagoya. And here's Rachel Elder at the plate. We talked about what Elder has done playing softball in game 1, but she's pretty impressive in the classroom as well. Their first pitch is a foul ball down the third base line, 0-1 the count. Rachel has made the president's list here at ICC all 3 semesters, and Adam, she has a 3.94 grade point average.
Yeah, not too shabby there. Also, I believe she's a pre-nursing major as well. So, if she becomes a nurse, somebody with that type of academic prowess, wouldn't mind seeing them in the operating room.
No doubt about that. Pitch in the dirt. 1-1 the count to Elder out of Guntown. Went to East Union High School. She's a sophomore. 3.94 GPA, making the president's list all 3 semesters here at ICC. That's an ICC Spotlight, by the way, brought to you by First National Bank in Pontotoc. We love the student athletes here at Itawamba Community College, and that pitch misses. 2-1 the count to Elder, who hits from the right side, hitting at 269 starting the day. No home runs, 5 runs batted in. Has a 322 on base percentage. That pitch is a strike call. 2-2 the count. No score, bottom of the third between ICC and Northeast. There's a line drive in the center field, a base hit for the free nursing Rachel Elder.
So, Will, you talk good about her in the classroom. She comes up with a big clutch hit there to start the inning.
That's right. Rachel was 0 for 2 in game 1. I beg your pardon, was 0 for 1 at the plate. Schenkel pinch hit for her in the 5th in game 1. So now we go to the top of the order, a leadoff single. And that is the second straight inning that we've had a leadoff base hit. Just the second time all day we've had that. In the first game, not one time in 7 frames did we have the leadoff hitter on.
Yeah, we've matched our hits now from game 1 here in game 2.
And here's Heather Dillard. With her style, slapping the ball makes it interesting, puts a little pressure on that infield with the runner at first and nobody out. Showing bunt, and it's a beauty down the third base line. The throw is just in time to get Dillard, but a sacrifice brought to you by the Baptist Student Union. Chris Burrows has been the director of the BSU since 1996, and of course the Baptist Student Union would like to remind all of us of the ultimate sacrifice made on our behalf.
Coach Kirk questioned something there, and they're talking in the infield. Didn't really see.
Dillard is still standing at first. Now they're saying that she's out.
Okay, I guess they were going to say that her foot come off the bag.
Yeah, he was trying to argue that her foot was off the bag.
So Cooper, who was covering first on the play, that was the question, whether or not her foot came off the bag. The umpire said no, so Heather Dillard is retired on the Baptist Student Union sacrifice. So we've got a runner in scoring position with only 1 out. And here's Haley Moore at the plate. A strike called. 0-1 the count. Haley is due today. She was 0 for 3 in game 1. And she's 0 for 1 in game 2. All 3 have been ground outs on the infield. And Haley started the day hitting at 379 with a home run and 23 runs batted in. Showing bunt, bunted through it. Strike called.
Yeah, she's going to try to catch them by surprise that time and see if she couldn't sneak her way on the base.
And see, that also hurts, not only is Moore 0 for 4 at the plate, but she's not on base, and she's among the national leaders with 19 stolen bases. She's 10th in the country, leads the state of Mississippi with those 19 thefts, and so far Northeast has done a nice job keeping her off the base. Check swing, did she commit? No, she did not. So that evens the count at 2-2 with 1 out. They do appeal, and the base umpire said no. On deck is Corey Watterson. That base hit in game 1 extended her hitting streak to 12 games in a row. Slapped it foul down the third base line, just past the head coach and third base coach of the Lady Indians, Andy Kirk.
We kind of seeing opposite of what we saw in game 1. Everything we hit foul to the right. Now we're ahead of the pitches, and everything we're pulling to the left. So hopefully we'll find the happy medium here in a second.
Yeah, something's got to give. And the Lady Indians, too good of an offensive team, starting the day hitting at .329 as a team. That pitch just misses, and the count is now full, I believe.
Barely outside.
To the right-handed hitting shortstop, Haley Moore, from right here at Itawamba AHS. Popped her up. It will stay in play, and the catcher makes the catch for the second out in foul territory. So Moore pops out to the catcher, Christian, for the second out here in a scoreless bottom of the third.
Once again, just one of those little breaks that we're not getting. Third baseman charging in, but was able to dodge out of the way of the catcher, and the catcher was able to come up and make the play. So, once again, breaks, although not beating the girls, just not going away with the girls.
No, Northeast has definitely brought its A game from Boone Vegas here this afternoon. They're not giving us any extra. And that pitch is low and outside. 1-0 the count to Watterson. Corey can provide a lead for ICC with one swing of the bat. Was caught looking her first time up, went 1 for 3 in game 1. Slaps it down the third base line, just foul. That had an extra base hit written all over it. She has 20 extra base hits so far this year, 13th best in the country.
Not only did that have extra base, but also had a run on it as well.
Yeah, that was much more important on that one. She has 8 home runs, top 15 in the country, has 11 doubles, top 15 in the country, 17th in total bases, and this another smash down the third base line foul. 1-2 the count to the dangerous Corey Watterson.
And once again, we're still ahead on these pitches, but we're hitting them hard. And we didn't hit it hard in the first game, so like we said, we just got to, get our timing up, and hopefully, this is a good at-bat right now by Corey that we can get something going here.
There's 2 outs in a scoreless bottom of the third here at Itawamba. Pitch just outside. Chagoya was already on her way to the Northeast dugout.
Yeah, she keeps doing that on that outside pitch, and umpires eventually get tired of that. So that corner is going to tighten up a little bit more if you keep kind of showing them up on that.
Chagoya out of Riverside, California. And there's a one-hopper back to the pitcher. And that will take care of Watterson and the Lady Indians in the third. We got a leadoff base hit, but we couldn't bring Elder any closer. In the inning, no runs, a hit. There were no errors, and 1 was left. We go to the fourth. Still no score between nationally ranked ICC and Northeast.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First American National Bank in Fulton, doing business the old-fashioned way. First American National Bank, with convenient locations all over Northeast Mississippi. By the Subways in Fulton, Tupelo, Saltillo, and Nettleton. Subway, eat fresh.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Davis Ford in Fulton. Need a new car, van, or SUV? Give Davis Ford a call at 862-3711. By Coca-Cola, Coke, and ICC. Now that's a winning combination.
And by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop in downtown Fulton. Sweet Cheeks is open daily for breakfast and lunch and is the only place in Fulton where you can get hot, freshly made donuts.
Will Kohlmeyer, Adam Gore back here in Fulton as we head to the top of the fourth. Still no score between ICC and Northeast. after Northeast won game 1, 1-0. James Puckett is our photographer in case you're watching this radio broadcast being video streamed at our award-winning athletic website, LetsGoICC.com. Montana Hawkins back on the hill, in the circle, I should say, for ICC here in the top of the 4th. And the first pitch to Chagoya.
This was a low and outside.
Low and outside, 1-0 the count. I waited for the call. Chagoya led off the second with a double. Pitch is low, 2-0 the count. So both pitchers squaring off against each other in this plate appearance. Chagoya in game 1 had a double to lead off the top of the 7th and came in to score the only run and the winning run of game 1. She was 1 for 2 with a walk and that run scored. She got a double her last time up. She's leading off the top of the 4th, no score.
Good pitch that time. Loaded up and put that one right down the heart of the plate with a 3-1 count.
Agnew is on deck and Cooper in the hole. The number 4, 5, and 6 hitters facing Hawkins here in the 4th. That's ball 4 and a leadoff walk to Chagoya.
And so once again, they get a runner on, and this is the, well, they didn't get one on in the 3rd, but for the 4th inning, or the 3 out of 4 innings so far here in game 2, they've been able to get the leadoff runner on, and once again, ICC's been able to get out of those situations.
Here's Agnew, the center fielder, with the runner Chagoya at first. Agnew bounced to the shortstop her last time up. Moore. First pitch is a ball, 1-0 the count. Cooper is on deck. 0-4 and 0 for Northeast.
Very unusual to see the runner on first come down and talking to the batter.
At the plate, John Williams joins us up here in the ICC Alumni Association broadcast booth. And that conversation is over. Pitch is a strike called with the runner at first. John coming over here to cheer on the Lady Indians.
Yeah, you know, love softball. Outside of football season, probably my most favorite season of the year in athletics. Love to watch these girls.
There's a fly ball to deep left field, and it is a one-hopper off the wall. It's going to be extra bases. They're going to try to score the runner from first, and they do. And a double off the left field wall by Agnew. That plates Chagoya all the way from first. And Northeast takes the lead 1-0 on ICC. And with Cooper coming to the plate, let's talk quickly a little ICC football. I saw another spring practice under your belt here this afternoon.
Yeah, we're just about done with spring practice, and been a good spring practice. Got a few guys coming back on next year's squad that we had a chance to evaluate, and also those guys got a chance to kind of hone their skills. So it's been a positive.
Andy Kirk is going to come out and talk to Montana Hawkins, and I think we've got our call to the bullpen, our first Predator Pest Control pitching change of the afternoon as Montana Hawkins goes 3+ innings, and Hopper will come in and will be the new pitcher for ICC. Let's take a 30-second timeout. Northeast leads it 1-0 in the top of the 4th.
You love us in print, you'll love us online. Being a Daily Journal subscriber sets you apart from the rest. Not only do you enjoy the knowledge, power, and connection that comes from having the Daily Journal delivered to your home, you can also enjoy unlimited access to our website, djournal.com, 24/7. Be sure to visit djournal.com/total access. Click Activate Now and claim your free unlimited access today. If you're not a home delivery subscriber, check out our web-only family subscription options beginning as low as $6 a month.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First National Bank in Pontotoc, with locations on South Main Street in Pontotoc and on Highway 15 in North Pontotoc. First National Bank, you're important to us, and we prove it.
And by JUCO Weekly. Log on to JUCOweekly.org to view scores, stats, news, photos, and videos from around the MACJC. Follow us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at www.JUCOweekly.org.
So we've got our first Predator Pest Control pitching change of the afternoon as Kara Hopper is in for her 15th appearance. She's got a 3-1 record, 3 saves, and a sparkling 1.43 earned run average. She comes in replacing Montana Hawkins, who goes 3+ innings. Gave up 1 run. That runner at second, Agnew, is her responsibility. Although they did bring a pinch runner in, Robinson, the pinch run for Agnew. And here's Cooper. The first pitch is a strike called. 0-1 the count. Adam Gore, along with ICC head football coach John Williams, joining us in our ICC Alumni Association broadcast booth. So far this afternoon, the Lady Indians have yet to score against Northeast pitching. And there's a bunt and almost a catch by Bonner at the catcher position. 0-2 the count. Something's got to shift here, John. The Captain Mo, we haven't had much momentum all afternoon.
Yeah, most definitely. We definitely need some momentum. Need to get the bats fired up, man. If we could get a smooth double play right here, it'd be nice.
Springer is on deck. We've had a handful of double plays. This one's popped up down the third base line. It will find its way out of play, and the count remains 0-2. You were talking about spring practice. You got some of your guys coming back that you're evaluating as well this spring.
Yeah, the majority of our team next year will be freshmen, so we're expecting a lot coming in.
Foul out of play, and we'll do it again at 0-2 to the right-handed hitting Cooper here in the top of the fourth. 1-0 Northeast. Makes it kind of, I don't know, is it anticlimactic when you have a spring practice when you don't have the majority of your team for the fall?
Depending on deficiencies there on your roster.
That pitch is low, 1-2 the count.
At times, each year is different. Sometimes you're going to have heavy on defense in the spring, and sometimes you'll be heavy on offense. This year, we're heavy on defense.
Line drive caught by Watterson, but her throw to second is high, and the runner gets back safely. So Cooper lines sharply to Watterson, and she tried to double up the pinch runner Robinson. That throw is high, but fortunately Robinson did not advance. And there's 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Northeast leading ICC 1-0 with Avery Springer coming to the plate. She got a base hit her last time up, but the runner Cooper trying to score from second was thrown out.
That was that double play we needed there.
Yes, that would have been sweet. The Lady Indians trying to split with rival Northeast. This one's fouled straight back. Of course, the year started with this rivalry with your Indians winning again against Northeast.
Yeah, that's the good thing about being a fall sport. You kind of get that monkey off your back early.
Yeah. There's a ground ball that just got off the glove of Watterson. And so Avery Springer reaches. That puts runners at first and third. That's been a tough play for Watterson. So an infield single for Springer puts runners at the corners with 1 out here in the top of the fourth. And here's Good, Shannon Good, the shortstop. Your 4th year as the head coach. You're 4 for 4, aren't you, against Northeast?
Yes, but don't jinx me. Knock on wood.
Knocking on a lot of wood up here.
I tell you, that's a great rivalry between both schools in every sport. We've just been very fortunate here in my tenure, but we know that could change at any time. So we got to stay ahead of the curve.
Pitch to the left-handed hitting Good. evidently a little high. 1-0 on the count with runners at first and third. One out, top of the fourth. It's 1-0 Northeast over nationally ranked Itawamba. They're in at the corners. There's a swing and a miss. Hopper had a little something extra on that one.
Yeah, man, that had a little movement on that pitch. That was pretty nasty.
On deck is Haley Christian, the catcher, the number 9 hitter in that lineup. This one's bunked straight back, and it's now 1-2 the count to Good. Your daughter, Jordan, she's playing some
Jordan, my daughter, she had her first practice yesterday, and the coach asked her if she wanted to play first, and she said I was a little bit too busy for her.
So too busy at first. Pitches outside, 2-2 the count with one out here in the top of the fourth. Lady Tigers already have plated one run. A little too busy at first.
Yeah,
well, you don't want that.
No,
got to make her.
Not.
You don't want her uncomfortable. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Ball got away from the catcher, but the throw down to first is in time. So a strikeout brought to you by the Pit Stop Barbecue here in Fulton. That's the first of the afternoon for Hopper. The runner does go down to second, Springer, so they get runners in, 2 of them in scoring position with 2 outs. And here's the number 9 hitter, Haley Christian, the catcher. 1-0 Northeast here in the top of the fourth inning. The wind picked up a little bit. Looks like it's blowing toward right, and then sometimes it comes in a little bit from center. Can't make up its mind. Absolutely gorgeous afternoon, though.
I tell you, it's picture perfect. I don't think you can script a better day.
Hopper in replacing Hawkins. This one's fouled out of play. ICC won the first 7 games this year, the first 7 athletic contests against Northeast, but Northeast has won the last 3, including game 1 here this afternoon in softball, 1-0. This one's popped up out of play. 1-2 the count to the right-handed hitting catcher, Haley Christian. You and your football Indians took care of Northeast, and then both our men's and women's basketball programs swept this series. So that was 4 more wins. And then we won the first 2 in softball at Northeast, but then the baseball Indians were swept a couple Saturdays ago up in Boonville, and then Northeast won this one in game 1. There's a big strikeout, though, the swing and a miss. And another strikeout brought to you by the Pit Stop Barbecue here in Fulton, and that takes care of Christian and Northeast here in the fourth. But the Lady Tigers get the first run of the game on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 2 were left in scoring position. We've played 3.5, and Northeast leads ICC 1-0. ICC Athletics on FM 95 Sports is brought to you in part by the National Guard. Always ready, always there, the National Guard. And by Pisons. Give Stan the Pizza Man a call at 862-4000.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Trustmark Bank in Tupelo, Fulton, and Columbus. Trustmark is a Mississippi-based bank. Yes, it's a large regional bank, but managed locally by the Baptist Student Union on the Fulton campus. The BSU is the oldest, largest, and most active religious club on campus, serving ICC students since 1954.
WAFM, Amory, Aberdeen.
FM 95 sports coverage of ICC is sponsored by the McDonald's of Monroe, Itawamba, Chickasaw, Lee, and Pontotoc counties, Trustmark Bank, Larry Clark Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop, the National Guard, the Daily Journal, and Pisons Pizza.
Will Kohlmeyer, welcome you back to Fulton along with Adam Gore. Special thanks to John Williams. We tried something, didn't we, Adam? We're just trying our best somehow to change something happening.
Trying to shake it up a little bit.
Shake it up. We get Williams in there.
Matter of fact, I'm going to switch arms with my bracelet right now.
Okay.
I'm going to take off my shoes here in a minute.
I've used a different pen, keeping score from game 1 to game 2, but so far nothing has worked. We're down 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Northeast won game 1, 1-0. We got the number 4, 5, and 6 hitters. That's Kat Carver, Emily Henderson, and Ashley Langford.
That first pitch low for a ball.
1-0 the count. Carver had a base hit, stole second her first time up, then got caught in a pickle on a ground ball by Henderson in between third and short.
Yeah, and that's kind of told the tale of the tape today. You know, when we had people in running position, we just getting the oddball rundown, that type deal. So, you know, like I said, we're still looking for that break. We just haven't had that lucky break so far in this series.
That's typically our strongest sports.
Pitch is low and outside, 2-1 the count.
Recently in our basketball programs down now, so we kind of hang our hats.
Carver at the plate, Henderson on deck, Langford in the hole, and if any of those three reach base, Hopper will get an at-bat. I'd like to see a merry-go-round here.
Yeah, absolutely. And that time, the pitcher taking a little bit too much time for Carver's liking, so she calls time and says, let's start over again.
Kat was the leadoff hitter in game 1, went 0 for 3.
That pitch strike right at the knees for the strike.
Carver, the sophomore from Hernando. Hits from the right side. Pretty solid defender as well. Only 3 years in the field all season long.
Ball in the dirt that time for ball 3. Now the count goes full here for Carver, so got to protect the plate here.
Henderson is on deck. It's 1-0 Northeast. The Lady Tigers scored their only run in the top of the 4th. The leadoff walk came back to haunt ICC. There's a slow roller. Chagoya.
The ball actually hit Carver in the back. I thought it hit Carver in foul territory. There's no way. I mean, you can tell by the way the ball bounced off. Maybe the first base umpire will overrule that one, and Carver will come back to bat because the ball was sharp towards third and bounced towards the pitcher. Oh, my goodness. You've got to be kidding me.
So Kat Carver was already on her way back to the batter's box.
And she easily got hit by it.
Number 22.
Tell you.
That hurts.
And it shouldn't. And that's the thing about it is, you know, in a hard-fought ball game like this, we saw a call in the first game that swung momentum and eventually the wind towards Northeast. As there's a fly ball to left field, but G's going to camp underneath it. But it shouldn't come down to that. It shouldn't come down to umpires making calls, missing calls to determine ball games.
Henderson with the fly out, as you called it, Adam, to left field for the second out. And here's Langford, who walked her first time up, hitting 6th in the lineup in game 2 for Andy Kirk after hitting cleanup in game 1, went 0 for 3.
But the same fact about it is, you got to play the way the umpires have the game called. So you got to adjust and you got to make some plays and start hitting the ball. As that pitch was high, but swung on that time by Langford for strike 1.
0-1 the count to Ashley with Hopper on deck. Tried to frame it, and I guess did a good job of framing. That thing looked outside, but Christian framed it, but it wasn't just brought in like a half of it in. She brought it in like 3 inches.
She brought it in from the other batter's box, so need to go over there and tape some bats together, hit those.
There's a squibber fouled on the first base line. Langford stays alive at 0-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th.
And that hurts your bats because you have to swing at those type pitches because they're calling them for strikes, even though they're in the other batter box.
School-based organizations.
There's the 0-2. High, 1-2 the count to Langford with Hopper on deck.
Well, as you said, Will, we just got to get it started sometime. I mean, you don't have to be at the leadoff spot. It can be anybody. Just sort of get hot and, once one bat kind of gets rolling, hits are contagious, they say. And right now would be a good time to catch something.
Yeah.
I hear you on that one. And here's Langford. Got to guard the dish. Pitch is low and inside. Langford took a long look back at the home plate umpire.
And you got to do that because he's got that extreme delayed ball and strike call.
Count is even at 2-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Northeast over ICC. Pitches in the dirt. 3-2 the count. How about Langford?
Very good at bat right now. She held off that changeup, was able to not chase one in the dirt, and did a good job of now battling back and having the count go full here.
2 outs, nobody on, and there is strike 3 called.
My Lord. Like I said, we have to tape the bats together to swing at these pitches.
The 3rd strikeout of the game by Chagoya, all brought to you by the Pit Stop Barbecue in Fulton. 3 up and 3 down in the 4th. We go to the 5th, and Northeast leads number 19 ICC 1-0.
Let ICC help you find a new direction.
My name is Mac Arthur. I, like a lot of my friends, did not finish high school. I got my GED and decided that I wanted to do something with myself. So I went to Itawamba Community College and I talked to my counselor because I knew where I wanted to be, but I didn't know how I was going to get there. Affordability was one of the main reasons why I chose ICC, because the financial aid department really worked with me when it came to personal growth, professional development, and leadership. ICC was the only school for me.
Check out our website at iccms.edu.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First American National Bank in Fulton, doing business the old-fashioned way. First American National Bank, with convenient locations all over Northeast Mississippi. By the Subways in Fulton, Tupelo, Saltillo, and Nettleton. Subway, eat fresh.
Will Kohlmeyer along with Adam Gore as we head to the 5th inning, 1-0 Northeast, and we're changing up everything. We're bringing John Williams back. You're a communications major. Just use this microphone right here and tell everybody what's coming up at ICC, brought to you by First National Bank in Pontotoc.
I appreciate you putting me on the spot here.
We're trying to do anything we can. Talk about Idol.
Just want to tell you that the public is invited to attend ICC's Indian Idol. This is based on American Idol, which will be in the W.O. Benjamin Fine Arts Center Auditorium at the Fulton campus. The rounds are April 9th and 16th, and the finale on April 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Admission is free. I tell you, it's a treat to go watch that. What a bunch of talented students we have here at ICC.
Nice job, John Williams. Put him right on the spot. But you're a communications major back in the day. We're trying whatever we can.
He knocked it out of the park.
He sure did. Solo home run for Williams, his first of the year. That pitch is out of the strike zone. 2-0 the count.
That one was closer to the strike zone, that last strike 3 called.
Yes. Even some of the Northeast faithful were talking about that last pitch to Langford to end the 4th. We're in the top of the 5th. This one's fouled out of play. It's Bunton, G, and King, the top of the order for the Lady Tigers here in the 5th. Northeast, the black and gold, leading the red and blue 1-0 in Game 2 after winning Game 1 by that identical score. There's a strike called. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, good job by Hop that time, battling back, coming and finding the strike, even with the count now at 2-2.
Don't forget what's coming up at ICC besides Indian Idol. Don't forget this Saturday. It's Take a Swing at Breast Cancer. Pitch is low. Count is full. Did she commit? No.
They appealed, and there's no reason to go down to first because he's not going to say she went, even though she did go across. And here's the thing about it. There really is no set rule on where the plane is, on where you can consider them going or committing to the pitch. So it's just an opinion call, that of the umpire.
Bunton slaps this one to the first baseman, Henderson, who takes it herself. It's the first time Bunton has been retired in Game 2. And here is Whitney G. Bunton had a double her first time up and then reached on an air in the 3rd. Still just 1-0. They've had their chances to increase this lead. It could be more than 1-0, but we've been able to make the pitches and make the plays when we've needed to keep it at 1-0. With one out, here's G. 0 for 1 in game 2 with a walk after going 0 for 3 in game 1. This Saturday is Take a Swing at Breast Cancer, the annual ICC Breast Cancer Awareness Series against Delta for ICC softball. Don't forget you can purchase your shirt to support Take a Swing at Breast Cancer. To purchase, see a team member or email Coach Kirk at ankirk@iccms.edu. That's a foul ball there. 1-1 the count to G with one out here in the top of the 5th. We'll have the Chick-fil-A, the Cow, coming back from Tupelo's Thompson Square location. There's a ground ball to the right side, and Carver underhands it to Henderson to take care of G for 2 outs here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Tranisha King.
Absolutely willing to go back to the Breast Cancer Awareness Series. We talked about it in game 1, something the softball players actually started, I think, 3 or 4 years ago under Coach Chad Case. They came up and wanted to do something to raise some money for breast cancer awareness. So, as you said, T-shirts will be on sale throughout the day. We'll have a couple of breast cancer survivors come out throughout opening pitches. Molly May of Houston will sing the national anthem, and we'll be also taking donations throughout the day, and those proceeds will go towards breast cancer awareness programs throughout the entire North Mississippi area.
There's a swing and a miss. 0-1 the count to King with 2 outs here in the 5th. There's a strike called. 0-2 the count. Yeah, I really like what ICC has done, as you mentioned, the last 4+ years. Of course, Nancy Gray and the Lady Indians host it every year when it comes to basketball. And, of course, it's hashtag Pink Out.
So you can tweet your pictures, and you can follow that Pink Out hashtag right there. So we welcome you to do that on Twitter at LetsGoICC.
The #1 athletic Twitter account in the state among the 15 community colleges. There's a little looper into short left center field, and it falls for a base hit. So King just put a bat on the ball, a little flare out there in left center, and Moore got a good jump. It's just one of those places, it was just a perfectly placed flare.
Pretty much just hit it where they ain't is what that happened there. And Moore, as you said, got a good jump on it. She didn't know if she needed to keep running or she needed to make her jump on it. So it was just one of those, excuse me, swings, and look what I found type hits.
So a 2-out single by King extends the top of the 5th. And here's the cleanup hitter, the pitcher, Chagoya. Not only is she throwing a shutout on the mound, in the hill, I should say, but she's reached base twice. This one's popped up, out of play. Got a double to lead off the second. Was thrown out, though, trying to score. Beautiful throw from Dillard in center field to Bonner, the catcher, applied the tag. And then she walked and scored in the 4th. So there's only been 2 runs scored here this afternoon. Both have been scored by Chagoya. Pitch is high. 1-1 the count.
The sun's starting to set here in Fulton and starting to run out of outs as well for the Lady Indians. So, we need to get out of this inning with no damage done and see if we can't get back and finally get these bats going. I mean, we've only had 4 hits today.
It's amazing.
And this is a team that has just really been knocking the cover off the ball. So, they're just a swing away from making something happen.
Pitch is low and outside. 2-1 the count. You're exactly right. This is a ICC team that is hitting at .329 as a team. Has scored 204 runs in the first 27 games this year. There's a strike. 2-2 the count with 2 outs to Chagoya. She's reached base 4 times. Actually reached base all 5 times. She had a double and scored in game 1, had a walk, and also reached on a fielder's choice. There's a ground ball in the hole, a base hit. Left side.
And once again, it's just one of those situations where all the breaks like that right there just going the way of Northeast here. And it's got to be frustrating for the ladies right now is, they're making the same type of hits, only they're going directly to Northeast players. So, they're really not having to work hard on defense, but they've played well on defense. Lady Indians, just one of those where they're looking for this third out, and they kind of struggle to get it. So, I mean, you look at the team right now on the field, there's a lot of hands on the hips and some dejected looks on their face.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no question about that, Adam. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Here's Agnew. Bree Agnew had the RBI double her last time up, back in the 4th, to plate the only run of this game. Grounded out to short her first time up.
Pitch looked to be a little low and inside for a ball.
1-1 the count with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. 1-0 Lady Tigers. The black and gold lead the red and blue. Etowamba swept Northeast back in Boonville earlier this month.
Like we said, it was a close battle. We won the first one, I think, 7-2. Came back and won this, held on to win the second one, 8-6. So, that second game was a battle there, and and that's kind of the way it's been in this series. I was looking back over the series just to see what the count was, and it just seemed like every year we go there, win. They come here and win. So, I mean, it's just like we just trade off wins each year.
That pitch was fouled out of play, so 1-2 the count to Agnew. Hopper delivers, and a strike. They said that she's taking the base, but it was a strike.
She was swinging.
So it's not a hit batsman. So they'll throw down to second.
No, that's
should be a dead ball, right?
She swung. She was strike 3. The first was occupied, so that's the end of the inning. They can't advance when the runner's at first.
And there it is. Good call, Adam.
What we need to do, just in case, is just go tag the batter. Just go tag the batter.
Because now Jody Long is coming out.
They're trying to say she was going.
Is that the third out? It should be. And it should be a strikeout, brought to you by the Pit Stop Barbecue, and that should be the third out. And Jody Long is still out there talking with the base umpire now. There's a state of confusion here at Etowamba Community College here in the top of the 5th, with Northeast leading 1-0. Andy Kirk is already on his way out to coach third base the next half inning. And that is an out. And that should take care of, yes, that's a strikeout for Hopper, her third in 2 innings pitch. Brought to you by the Pit Stop Barbecue in Fulton. In the inning, no runs, 2 hits. No errors and 2 were left. There another donut on the scoreboard for Northeast, brought to you by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop in Fulton. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Northeast leads ICC 1-0.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First National Bank in Pontotoc, with locations on South Main Street in Pontotoc and on Highway 15 in North Pontotoc. First National Bank, you're important to us, and we prove it.
And by JUCO Weekly. Log on to JUCOweekly.org to view scores, stats, news, photos, and videos from around the MACJC. Follow us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at www.JUCOweekly.org.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Davis Ford in Fulton. Need a new car, van, or SUV? Give Davis Ford a call at 862-3711. By Coca-Cola, Coke, and ICC. Now that's the winning combination.
And by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop in downtown Fulton. Sweet Cheeks is open daily for breakfast and lunch and is the only place in Fulton where you can get hot, freshly made donuts.
Alongside Adam Gore, I'm Will Kohlmeyer as we welcome you back to ICC Lady Indian Softball here on FM 95 Sports. We head to the bottom of the 5th, 1-0 Northeast.
Yeah, and we got to do something, Will. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, we just hadn't hit the ball today. We just haven't hit the ball in first game, and we're still struggling. We've only got 2 hits. 2 hits so far here in game 2. So, as we said, a very uncommon performance here for the Lady Indians.
Don't forget you can listen to ICC Athletic Updates each weekday morning here on FM 95 Sports. I host these 90-second segments at 6 and 7 a.m. right here on FM 95 Sports. And hopefully I'll be talking tomorrow morning about a come-from-behind win here in Game 2 of the doubleheader for ICC. Trailing 1-0, first pitch swing, a little flare out into center field, and a leadoff base hit for Kara Hopper. And that's a good way to start the bottom of the fifth for Itawamba. A leadoff hit for Hopper, and finally we got a flare there. Adam?
Absolutely, and that may do it for the pitcher in this situation. So, yeah, lead off the inning here and got Hopper on, and hopefully that'll spark another one right behind it.
We got a Predator Pest Control pitching change, so Chagoya is done, but here comes Chelsea Bunton, and all she did was throw a complete Game 2 hit shutout against ICC in Game 1. Let's take a 60-second timeout. We're in the bottom of the fifth. A Predator Pest Control pitching change with Northeast leading ICC 1-0.
If you're looking for a friendly pharmacy with the fastest service in this area, head to the Family Pharmacy of Fulton. Located next to Food Giant, the Family Pharmacy of Fulton never wants a customer to wait any longer than necessary. We know you're busy, so we give your prescription top priority. The Family Pharmacy of Fulton combines modern convenience with caring customer service. Just a few of the reasons why the Family Pharmacy of Fulton has become your pharmacy of choice. Give us a call at 862-7979 or swing by the Family Pharmacy of Fulton.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Trustmark Bank in Tupelo, Fulton, and Columbus. Trustmark is a Mississippi-based bank. Yes, it's a large regional student union on the Fulton campus. The BSU is the oldest, largest, and most active religious club on campus, serving ICC students since 1954.
And the first pitch from Bunton is out of the strike zone, a little low, 1-0 the count. We're in the bottom of the fifth, Adam. It's 1-0 Northeast, but we get the leadoff hitter on, and here's Bonner at the plate.
Yeah, new pitcher in the game is the Game 1 winner in Bunton.
Yeah, she was lights out in Game 1. Maybe she'll get back down to earth here in Game 2. Bunton pitched a 2-hit complete game shutout, her 7th win of the year. And this pitch is popped up straight away center field, and making the catch for the first out was Agnew, and that retires Autumn Bonner for the first out here in the fifth.
Well, that's what she needed. She came in, delivered a good pitch, got a fly out, so an easy out right there for the first out. As they always say, the first out's the toughest out. So now we just need Rachel. We talked good about her last time. We also talk about her grades again.
I'm telling you what, she is not only got a base hitter last time up, but this young lady is at 3.94 grade point average, and she's done it again. Elder with a base hit. She's 2 for 2 here in Game 2. And we got something brewing. I think it's the first time all day we've had 2 hits in 1 inning.
Yes, it is.
So now we go to the top of the order. And Rachel Elder, and that 3.94 GPA is 2 for 2 at the plate in Game 2. She's at first. Hopper is at second. And here's Heather Dillard, the leadoff hitter. And she tries to slap one down the third base line, but it slices foul. Yeah, we need one of those C&I singles. ICC is all about social media. Don't forget to join us on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Vine, FanCred, you name it. Also, if you have a question or need more information about ICC, visit our new and improved college website at iccms.edu. And there's a bunt attempt, foul. 0-2 the count to Dillard. That's an ICC Spotlight brought to you by First National Bank in Pontotoc. Dillard is 0 for 1 officially. She had a sacrifice bunt her last time up, brought to you by the Baptist Student Union.
Can we talk about Rachel's 3.94 GPA again?
Love to talk about Rachel. We're all about student athletes here at Itawamba, and this one's popped up out of play. We've done everything but call this game on our heads.
Exactly. I mean,
we're trying.
We'll have to pull a major league and sacrifice a bucket of chicken here pretty soon just to get something going.
Oh, talking about chicken. I'm hungry. Oh, man. Let's see if Heather Dillard can come through for the ladies from Itawamba. There's a foul, and she bunted it. But does it call it a slap? If they call it a slap with 2 strikes, that would be a 3rd strike, and yes, it is.
Strike 3.
Yep. She bunted it foul with 2 strikes, and that's a strikeout brought to you by the Pit Stop Barbecue.
That, and I don't know if she actually made contact, but yeah, Andy's going to come down and say that she swung at it, fouled it off. I don't think she hit it. I think she attempted, and it come off the catcher's glove on a high pitch. So once again, another one of those breaks that just don't go the way.
Oh, wait a second. Yep, that's going to come. Yep, they're going to call her out. Yep, you're right, Adam. So that's 2 outs. And now it's up to Haley Moore.
Next batter, number 2.
Boy, I tell you what, not to put any pressure on Haley, but this is an opportunity that we cannot let slip away. We have runners at first and second. There's 2 outs. And Haley Moore, who's had herself a fine year, the shortstop out of Itawamba AHS. That first pitch is a strike call. Moore's high school alma mater won the state high school basketball girls championship this year. Haley Moore trying to help us try to keep first place, trying to go for another North Division championship in softball. That pitch is low. 1-1 the count with 2 outs. ICC has won the last 2 North Division titles. We're the only softball program in the state that has advanced to the playoffs the last 6 years. That's another ICC Spotlight brought to you by the Family Pharmacy of Fulton. Here's the 1-1 to Moore, and a sharp hit grounder off. Backhanded stab by the second baseman, Cooper. That had a base hit written all over it, but a stab by Cooper, and that ends the threat for ICC. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and we left 2 on.
You hit that same ball to her 10 times. She's missing the next 9.
Oh, my goodness. Great defensive play there brought to you by the National Guard. We go to the 6th inning, and Northeast leads ICC 1-0.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First American National Bank in Fulton, doing business the old-fashioned way. First American National Bank, with convenient locations all over Northeast Mississippi. By the Subways in Fulton, Tupelo, Saltillo, and Nettleton. Subway, eat fresh.
ICC Athletics on FM 95 Sports is brought to you in part by the National Guard. Always ready, always there, the National Guard. And by Pisons. Give Stan the Pizza Man a call at 862-4000.
Will Kohlmeyer along with Adam Gore back here in Fulton as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Northeast leads game 2, 1-0 after winning game 1 by that same score. We're being joined right now by ICC men's and women's tennis head coach Paul Johnson. This interview brought to you by Auto, Air, and Electric. And Paul, you just got done with 2 matches today against East Central and a couple victories for ICC.
Yes, Will. We guys, we did a good job. 9-0. We were through about an hour ago with the guys. Girls battled and pulled a 5-4 out. The girls really hadn't hit our stride yet. I'm looking for better things, but.
First pitch swinging, Cooper. Grounder to off the third baseman's glove. Watterson to Moore, and she fires over to first in time. So 5-6-3 on that put out as Cooper is retired for the first out here in the top of the 6th. You're talking about your Lady Indians?
Yeah, we played Jones Saturday, and I thought we played a good match and thought we were coming on. Now it looks like we kind of regressed today, but that's what it's all about. The next match, got to get better.
Strike call to Springer with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Springer is 2 for 2 in game 2 with a couple base hits. There's a slow roller to the right side. Carver has it, sidearms it over to Henderson for the second out. So the men, though, they made quick work of the Warriors from East Central.
Right, the men have played solid all the way through. That puts a 7-0 in junior college play. So we just got to keep that going, keep sharp, not get the big head.
2 outs. Here is Shannon Good, the shortstop, with nobody on here in the top of the 6th. First pitch is a strike called. What's up next, Paul?
Well, we play Northwest Wednesday, Northeast on Friday, so we're still in the meat of our schedule. So just got to keep working, getting better.
There's a slap foul behind home plate, and it's 0-2 the count to Good with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. We've had a tough time of it here this afternoon in softball. Lost game 1-0, losing in this one 1-0.
Man, yeah, it's a battle there.
Yes, it really is, and the outs are winding down. And was it strike 3? Did she commit? And they say no, and then they check they appeal it to the base ump, and he said no. So it's now 1-2 the count to Good. She's 0 for 2 in game 2 after going 0 for 3 in game 1. Slaps it to third. Watterson has it, fires over to first, and that takes care of Good and Northeast here in the top of the 6th. Paul, appreciate your time. Keep up the great work with ICC Tennis.
All right. Thank you, Will.
All right. So throw another donut on the scoreboard for Northeast, brought to you by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Northeast leads ICC 1-0.
So what's for breakfast?
I thought I'd chop up a few peppers and onions, scramble some eggs with cheese.
How about a little steak today?
And sizzling steak to top it off.
I'll help. Let me grab my apron.
You know what? Grab your coat instead. We're going to McDonald's for steak and egg burritos.
Wake up to steak with McDonald's new steak and egg burrito. Tender steak, sauteed peppers and onions, salsa roja, and American cheese. Now get 2 for just $3. That's more sizzle to love. Price participation may vary. Price of single product posted on menu board.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Davis Ford in Fulton. Need a new car, van, or SUV? Give Davis Ford a call at 862-3711. By Coca-Cola, Coke, and ICC. Now that's a winning combination.
And by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop in downtown Fulton. Sweet Cheeks is open daily for breakfast and lunch and is the only place in Fulton where you can get hot, freshly made donuts.
We're heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. Northeast won game 1, 1-0, leading in game 2, 1-0 over nationally ranked ICC. We'll have the number 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up, so here's our chance, Adam.
Yeah, here's our chance. We've been saying that all day.
Is it a broken record yet?
It is, but the thing about it is, we are just a swing a swing away from breaking this thing open, because that's just the type of bats we have. But Northeast, for some reason, has figured out how to lock our bats up today.
This is the Northeast stat. That's 3.62 earned run average coming into the game, and there's a sharp hit smash down the left field line, but just foul. Boy, that could have just inches away from getting the leadoff base hit, maybe even 2 out of Watterson.
Absolutely, and once again, just the break's not going the way of the girls.
It'll be Watterson, Carver, and Henderson, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Watterson today is 0 for 2 in game 2. She was 1 for 3 in game 1. That a little high. 1-1 the count. Watterson starting the day, hitting at .467. She now has 43 hits on the year, which is in the top 30 in the country. Her 32 runs batted in, top 30 in the country. That pitch is outside. 2-1 the count. James Puckett doing more than just shooting our video at LetsGoICC on our video streaming. And there's a fly ball into left center field, and it's going to be extra bases off the wall. And there's a good way to start the bottom of the 6th for ICC. Watterson with a double to left center.
Big hit there, Will. Also extends her hit streak now to, I believe, 13 games in a row. Right. So big hit there. We got a runner on second, no outs. Maybe that's what we needed. We talked about just needing that one swing of the bat, one break, something good to go our way, and hopefully that was it.
against Bunton. Chelsea Bunton, who's in relief, trying to save the game for Chagoya. Here's Kat Carver, the cleanup hitter. And that pitch got away from the catcher, and that allows Watterson to go to third.
So now, wow, talk about a golden opportunity. This is a big-time opportunity here, and it looks like we may have a they're actually going to come out and talk things over. Thought they may have a pitching change here. They're going to call in the infield and going to gather up everyone in this situation.
So Carver had went around to square to bunt, pulled it back. So it's a ball high. 1-0 the count. We're in the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 Northeast. We'll keep it right here. And remind you that Honors Night is coming up at ICC April 8th at 6:30 at the W.O. Benjamin Fine Arts Center Auditorium on the Fulton campus. Top departmental division students will be honored for academic and scholastic achievement. The public is invited. That's what's coming up at ICC, brought to you by First National Bank in Pontotoc. All right, the conversation is over. Northeast staying with Bunton on the mound. And here's Kat Carver with a 1-0 count with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. Lady Tigers lead our Lady Indians 1-0. And that pitch gets away from the catcher. Watterson's going to try to score, and she did not hit. Did she touch the home plate? The pitcher dropped it, and she does score. The home plate umpire kept on staring at and pointing toward the plate like she didn't touch it, but a wild pitch allows Watterson to score, and we finally have our run, our first run.
We found our lucky charm. Paul Johnson coming in. So
call Brenda. He's not coming home for a while.
So he's going to be traveling with the softball team from now on this season.
So here's Kat Carver at the plate. 2-0 and gets hit on the head. Thank goodness for those ICC helmets. And now we get a runner at first. We've tied the game at 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Let's get a couple more runs, shut the door in the top of the 7th, and let's talk about a Lady Indian victory on our Aiken Veterinary Services postgame report.
Absolutely, and finally we got a little life in this crowd. The first time today they've had anything to cheer for. No outs, tie ball game, runner on first, and Emily Henderson at the plate.
First time we've actually seen Northeast even flinch a bit this afternoon, as Watterson scores on back-to-back wild pitches, and here comes another
switch back.
They're going to switch Bunton, and Chagoya is going to go back in, so another Predator Pest Control pitching change as Chagoya now in replacing Bunton in a tie game. We're back here in 30 seconds here in the bottom of the 6th on FM 95 Sports.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First National Bank in Pontotoc, with locations on South Main Street in Pontotoc and on Highway 15 in North Pontotoc. First National Bank, you're important to us, and we prove it.
And by JUCO Weekly. Log on to JUCOweekly.org to view scores, stats, news, photos, and videos from around the MACJC. Follow us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at www.JUCOweekly.org.
All right, after the Predator Pest Control pitching change, Chagoya comes back in. Bunton goes back over to first, and Springer goes to third. And the pitch is a little low. 1-0 the count. Paul Johnson has pitched to 10th, so he's not leaving our ICC Alumni Association broadcast booth. As finally the Lady Indians have scored a run. We haven't been able to say that the first 12-plus innings. There's a fly ball to deep center field. Get out of here. And it is gone. A home run by Henderson, a 2-run shot. And the Lady Indians are up 3-1.
Well, that's official. Paul Johnson will now be traveling with the Lady Indians. And you talk about getting out of a slump. That was a big, big shot right there by Emily, as that was a no-doubter once she hit it to dead away center.
I mean, she hammered that one. And the Indians, how about that? ICC actually has our first lead of the afternoon at 3-1. We scored 3 runs here in the bottom of the 6th. And Henderson That has our shot of our play of the game, brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it. So it's 3-1, still nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th, and here's Ashley Langford. Sends a fly ball to deep right field. It is slicing foul out of play.
Dropped it. She actually caught it.
Oh, she did catch it.
She caught it
and then dropped it.
But her glove hit the railing and bounced it out of her glove. So a great play by the right fielder to track into it, fearlessly charge into that into the fence over there. But luckily for us, hit it hard enough to draw the ball loose.
Good eye by you. The sun is setting. I couldn't quite tell. It was right into the sun. That's Rudd out of South Panola High School. They've had some terrific athletes through the years by the name of Rudd at South Panola. Got to be some relation to Marla, including Dwayne Rudd. Played at Alabama, played quite a few years in the NFL. Here's the 1-1. Low and outside. 2-1 the count. Here in the bottom of the 6th, ICC has erupted for 3 runs in the inning. And we lead it 3-1. Inside, strike called. 2-2 the count.
Almost a hit batter on that right there. So umpire staying consistently inconsistent, as Steve Diffie would say.
Yeah, the pride of Holmes Community College. 2-2 the count. That pitch is low. 3-2 the count. Langford walked her first time up, then struck out her second time up. Langford 0 for 4 on the afternoon with that walk. 3-1 Lady Indians. This one's fouled.
Typically, we say swung at ball 4 on that one being inside, but the way the strikes have been called today, you got to protect the plate. You got to have an active bat. You got to come up and battle and try to stay alive here.
Don't forget, right after this one is over, we'll have the Dr. Mark Aiken Veterinary Services postgame report. We'll tell you who our Sonic star of the game is, brought to you by the Sonic Drive-In in Fulton. Here's a little pop-up into short left field on the outfield grass. Making the catch is good for the first out here in the bottom of the 6th. We'll also talk with head coach Andy Kirk, brought to you by Auto, Air, and Electric.
Now, I'll take 3 runs per out this inning. It'll be perfectly fine with me.
That's a good ratio. I'm down with that. That'll work for Will. Here is the right-handed hitting pitcher now, Kara Hopper, who is in line to get the win. If we can hang on, there's a foul ball down the right field line. 0-1 the count to Hopper. Bonner is on deck.
And, Will, that's the key. We've got to get this lead, and we've got to shut them down in this top part of the 7th to be able to get this win because, Northeast could easily turn around and do what we did here in this inning.
Pitch is low and inside. 1-0 the count with 1 out. We're back on the air tomorrow afternoon and evening. Doubleheader in baseball against Northwest. If things don't go accordingly, we'll have to call Paul Johnson to come over to Roy Crescent Field. This one's fouled out of play to the left of us. 1-2 the count.
I say we just go ahead and reserve him a spot.
All right, I'm with that. Paul, no practice tomorrow for the, well, no, he said the way his women's team played today. They got, yeah. I can just imagine Carrie Ball Williamson listening to this broadcast. You're doing what now? Well, what are you and Adam doing? Pitch is high, 2-2 the count, with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Sorry for just a little giddy. We just haven't been able to call any runs until just moments ago for ICC all afternoon. This one's fouled down the third base line. We'll do it again at 2-2.
Yeah, good job fouling that one off, staying alive here. Just ripped it a little bit too far ahead of that pitch that time by Hopper. As you said, Hopper can really help out her own cause right now. She can come up and get a big base hit and keep this inning going here. 1 out. Lady Indians lead it 3-1.
There's a line drive, center field, base hit for Hopper.
And a big hit there, as we said. Will can really help her cause come up with a hit. Just did a good at bat, was patient that time, battled, and was able to come up and get a hit.
Andy Kirk is going to continue to make some moves. Looks like Henry is getting a bat. She'll be pinch hitting here. for Bonner. That's Ariane Henry out of North Pontotoc. She was the starting first baseman in game 1, and she'll be pinch hitting for head coach Andy Kirk here with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
And she's another one of these that she can bat for some power. She's got deceivingly good speed. So hopefully, once again, we can just keep this thing going here in the top of the 6th, pick up a few more insurance runs.
So Ariane Henry stepping into the batter's box. Chagoya in the circle for Northeast. ICC already has 4 base runners in this inning. 4 base runners and 3 hits. Leadoff double by Watterson. Then she scored on back-to-back wild pitches. Then Carver was hit by a pitch. And then Henderson hammers this home run to center field. Pitches high, snap throw down to first. Diving back safely is Hopper.
Yeah, a little too close for comfort that time right there.
Don't get her. She don't need to get hurt. Need her to close the door in the top of the 7th. The 2-run homer by Henderson gives us the 3-1 lead. Then Langford popped up to short, and then Hopper just moments ago, a base hitter, second of game 2. Pitches high, another snap down to first, and again diving back is Hopper. She's forcing that catcher to throw down there, Haley Christian.
And that's one thing you got to do. You got to think eventually, she's come up awkwardly throwing, maybe sail one out to right field here in a minute and be able to put her in running position or scoring position.
Absolutely. Here's the 2-0. There goes the runner. Hopper's going to try to steal second, and she's in there safely.
And they're going to argue the call there, but she tagged high, and the slide was low. And typically if you tag, I guess you say chest up on a slide, 9 times out of 10, umpires are going to call it safe, but you really don't know with this crew.
Hopper with the stolen base.
Sorry, I'm going to have to get my shots in. Miss Jimmy likes it whenever I take shots at the umpires.
Miss Jimmy, she doesn't miss. I don't think she ever misses a broadcast. She even listens to our ICC athletic updates on the way into work every morning from the ICC Dining Services Fulton cafeteria. That's stolen base for Hopper, her 4th of the year in 4 attempts. So we got a runner in scoring position with a 3-0 count to the pinch hitter, Henry. Is that a balk?
That was a balk.
Yes. Balk sends her to third. And then that's also a ball. So Henry trots down to first.
Yeah, they call it illegal pitch. Same thing as a balk.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing. They just have different terminology from one to the other. So, but yeah, now we got runners on the corner. They're going to come out and talk this one over here between the coach and the umpire and try to find out what she did, get an explanation on the rule there.
Rachel Elder will be back into the batter's box.
Rachel 2 for 2 on the day with a 3.94 GPA.
That's right.
We talked good about her at her first at bat with that GPA and second at bat. And we're going to do it the third at bat here so she can go ahead and drive us in an insurance run.
I don't know if you've heard this in the last 10 minutes, but she made the president's list the first 3 semesters here at ICC.
And rumor has it she's a pre-nursing major.
Okay.
So
these are not cream puff courses.
Not at all.
She's earning that 3.94.
Yes, most definitely.
Not taking classes like Gore and Kohlmeyer took in college.
I took basket weaving,
softball theory,
and I almost failed that. I tried to take tennis, but Paul wouldn't let me.
Back in the day, why would Paul Johnson ever do that to you?
So you probably heard about my tennis career in high school and realized I tagged my partner in the back of the head in doubles and said, no, you know what? Probably safety concerns won't keep you off the tennis courts.
Oh, okay, that's my first. I've been with you for 4 years. First time I've ever heard a tennis story.
Yes, I don't have very many.
Here's Elder with runners at first and third. The bunt attempt is missed, but the snap throw down to third gets past the third baseman, and an error on the catcher allows Hopper to score, and it's now 4-1.
It will. That's what I said. Eventually get them to throw it around enough, she'll sail one past, and wanted it to happen at first base, but I'll take it happen at third base because we got to score.
So the air makes it 4-1 on the play. Henry is at second. And now they're going to ask for a pinch runner for Henry.
See who they're going to send in this situation. Probably got to think it may be Schenkel coming in here to run. Actually, no, it's going to be Bonner. Okay, I see what they're doing now. They're going to sub back in. So Bonner basically is going to come back in and catch in the top half of the seventh. So they're just going to get her back in. A little bit more speed there with Bonner at second. So basically just subbed her back in.
All right, so.
Don't know what. Took 5 minutes to explain that to you.
No, that's what we need. No, I like that. I call it Softball 101, brought to you by McDonald's. Anytime you break it down, Adam, McDonald's is sponsors Adam in the classroom. Kind of an oxymoron right there, but Gore in the classroom. He's the professor when it comes to softball. That pitch is a strike called. 1-0 the count with 1 out. Elder is 2 for 2 today. Heather Dillard's on deck. Haley Moore in the hole. ICC, after getting nothing but bagels the first 12 innings at the plate, have erupted for 4 here in the 6th. This one's fouled straight back. 1-2 the count. That's over our heads here in the ICC Alumni Association broadcast booth. Don't forget to reconnect with ICC by joining the Alumni Association at 862-8176. In fact, Mark Todd, the director of our Alumni Affairs, will be our in-between game guest tomorrow afternoon for ICC baseball versus Northwest. Tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening at Roy Crescent Field here on FM 95 Sports. That pitch is low, 2-2 the count. Also on FM95radio.com. Video streaming tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
At LetsGoICC.com. James Puckett, proud to be behind the camera again tomorrow. Here's the 2-2 upstairs. Ball 3, 3-2 the count. Approaching the 7 o'clock mark here in North Mississippi. It's been an absolutely gorgeous day. Pitch inside, low, ball 4, and Elder is on base all 3 times. And here's Heather Dillard at the plate. Runners at first and second. 1 out. Lady Indians with 4 runs in the 6th inning, lead at 4-1. And Heather Dillard is the 8th Lady Indian to face Northeast pitching here in the 6th. Slaps it to third, tags the runner at second. The throw to second is a double play. She tagged the runner, Bonner.
Close to a double play, though.
And the throw to second, no, you're right. Elder looked like she had beaten it.
Elder was sitting on the bag when she caught it.
The double play ends the 6th inning, but ICC gets 4 runs in the frame on 3 hits. There were no errors, and we left 1 on the base path. We played 6, and ICC with its first lead of the afternoon, leading 4-1.
Auto Air Electric is Tupelo's only auto electrical and air conditioning service center. We offer many services to keep your auto running efficiently. Computer programming, full automotive electric repair, tune-ups, heating and AC systems, power windows and seats, cruise control, door locks, and more. Right now, we're offering GM cluster repair. We've been in business since 1990, and with our excellent staff have over 50 years of combined automotive experience. So when you need service, give us a call at Auto Air Electric, 3042 Maddox Street behind Car Credit in Tupelo.
ICC Athletics on FM 95 Sports is brought to you in part by the National Guard. Always ready, always there, the National Guard. And by Pisons. Give Stan the Pizza Man a call at 862-4000.
Will Kohlmeyer, Adam Gore, back here in Fulton. We head to the top of the 7th, and ICC leads it 4-1. We're 3 outs away, Adam.
We are 3 outs. So 1, 2, 3 outs here is what we need in the 7th.
It'll be Haley Christian, and then the top of the order with Bunton and then G. First pitch swinging, fly ball left center field. Coming on and making the catch is Elder for the first out.
Actually, that was Lakin Schenkel who had checked in during that. Made a great running effort to get that out.
So Schenkel is now out in left field. She played in a reserve role in game 1 for Rachel Elder. So 1 out. You always say, Adam, that first out's the biggest, the toughest. And now we're just 2 outs away from earning a split in this doubleheader. And here's Chelsea Bunton. 1 for 3 officially in game 2. Had a double to lead off this game. Went 0 for 3 in game 1. But she threw the complete game 2 hit shutout. She sends a fly ball to deep left center field. And a diving catch by the center fielder, Heather Dillard. That web gem brought to you by the National Guard.
Nice job once again. 2 great running catches back-to-back by our outfielders, Heather Dillard that time, and cross-country track star out at Ingomar, showing off her legs there that time too.
So true, and she had a good jump on that as well. Now Northeast is down to its last out. And at the plate for Northeast with 2 outs here is Whitney G in the top of the 7th. G started the day hitting at 296 with a home run, 15 runs batted in. This is a Northeast offense that has a team hitting 316 starting the day. There's a foul ball. 1-1 the count. 2 outs, top of the 7th. ICC leading 4-1 after losing game 1, 1-0. 1-1 the count. 2G with King on deck. Pitch is low. Ooh, 2-1 the count.
He's called that a strike before.
Hopper trying to get the win in relief. She came in with nobody out in the 4th. There was a swing and a miss. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. Hawkins went the first 3+, gave up the 1 run, and Hopper has come in relief. And she's just 1 pitch away from winning her 4th game of the year against 1 loss. This one's fouled out of play. Ooh, almost hit one of the youngsters here at the ballpark. Out of play down the right field line.
He was picking on somebody out there, and it's what bad karma is what you call that.
That's right.
Saw him pushing whoever the adult he was with. And luckily the adult did the right thing and kind of batted the ball away from him.
Good save right there. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. And there's a slow roller down the third base line. Watterson has it. Tough play and makes the play. And that takes care of G and Northeast in the 7th. 3 up and 3 down. And that is a donut up on the scoreboard, brought to you by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop as we begin our Dr. Mark Aiken Veterinary Services postgame report. ICC wins game 2 4-1. How about a game summary brought to you by Weatherall Printing?
The bats finally came to life. You know, that's what we kept saying the whole game. We were just a swing away from opening this thing up because we're a good hitting softball team, and finally that came to prove itself in the 6th. You know, I mean, it started with a double by Watterson, hit by pitch. Carver took one in the back of the head, and then M just took care of it from there. You know, so that was big. That was really big.
And that game summary brought to you by Weatherall Printing as ICC wins game 2 4-1 after losing game 1 1-0. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and come back with more of our Aiken Veterinary Services postgame report here on FM 95 Sports.
So